From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A unique partnership shedding light on mental health through a unique military tradition. Just what that tradition we're talking about, answer coming up in just a couple minutes. Hear that? It's spring in southwest Montana. I'm Chet Lehman. This week, we're going to talk about how we can share homes with some of Montana's wildlife.
Or the weather patio.
That's what I'm
exactly
hearing.
That, not very far from there where I shot that at.
No, you can hear them out there right now. They're just having a ball.
The robins love me.
Wait until you see the interview that I had with Morgan Jacobson. We shot it out there. You could barely hear each other talking. The birds were so involved in it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep, they are active. That's for
Can't
sure.
wait.
Well, happy Monday. It's
made it.
Monday. We did it.
That's it.
We're
That's
just
what we
soaking it in.
6:30 on Monday,
got.
and apparently Montana This Morning peaked.
I've already turned it off. Temperatures this morning into the 30s. There have been a few showers in parts of the area, but I don't think it's going to last long. Most of those showers are falling apart pretty quickly. We're seeing mostly sunny skies, very isolated chance of a few spotty showers through the afternoon. I do expect us to be in a pretty active pattern this week. I'm going to break it all down. Active pattern at the airport this morning. That paddock was full here not that long ago.
It was.
Not anymore. Temperatures back into the 60s. Gorgeous sunrise in the mining city. It's been a little damp on our area roadways, but it looks like it's drying out nicely. I'm going to talk more about our rain chances and a warmer Mother's Day weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. 6:31, a really impactful story right off the top. Montana has one of the highest veteran populations per capita than any other state.
Now, MTN's Edgar Cedillo had the opportunity to speak to a veteran at MSU about a unique partnership shedding light on mental health through a unique military tradition.
There's no monetary value to something like that. It's something that carries with it a special stigma, right? It's like recognition for something well done. When I was serving, that's where I gained the amount of my coins. I was in the ceremonial honor guard in Washington, D.C.
Darren Midland spent 14 years in the U.S. Coast Guard. He says during that time of service, challenge coins played a major role for him and members of the military.
That was how they showed their gratitude for services that we did, is they would give you a challenge coin. And it's something that you carry with you, especially long after you've served.
Montana State veterans share their experience with art students. It was those experiences that inspired art on these challenge coins to shed light on veteran suicide and mental health.
And we just had an open discussion, and at the end of that workshop, the veteran students and the School of Art students got together and came up with designs for the challenge coins.
It serves as a reminder that support and help are available now more than ever, especially with the creation of 988.
You're extending that olive branch to those who might need help, and then to those who are willing to help.
That way, if they're ever in a situation where, someone's not doing good, this is something tangible that says like, besides words, you're not alone, I'm here for you.
It's an ongoing issue that affects veterans and civilians.
Montana is no different than anywhere else. We have people who need help. It's good to let them know that they've got community and support, because at the end of the day, just like when we served, we have each other.
Midland says checking in on loved ones is a simple act of service.
Just like in the military, it's all about service to one another, right? And so you don't have to wear a uniform to serve your community. We've got your back. We've got each other's backs.
If you or a loved one are in need of help, you can call or text the National Suicide Hotline at 988. In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
Incredibly important message.
So powerful. I love it.
All right, now focusing on the national scene, communities along the southern border bracing for the end of Title 42 on Thursday. Now, Title 42 is the pandemic public health order that has allowed the Trump and Biden administrations to quickly remove migrants seeking asylum.
Now, our Joe St. George explains what the Biden administration is doing to combat an expected surge that may impact communities far away from the actual border.
The Biden administration is used to dealing with major consequential topics like the debt ceiling, the pandemic, high inflation, and then there is the issue of the southern border. That issue is expected to come to a head later this week after Title 42 ends on May 11th. You see, before the pandemic, many asylum seekers would be allowed to stay in the U.S. while their asylum claims worked through the court system. Title 42 allowed the U.S. to immediately turn most away. Since 2020, Title 42 has been used 2.7 million times to expel migrants. Many migrants were expelled under Title 42 more than once. With the policy soon to be over, some Texas cities like El Paso, Laredo, and Brownsville have already declared a state of emergency. Already, migrants are sleeping on streets in El Paso. Many government facilities, which often look like this, have reached capacity. 10,000 or more migrants a day are expected to try and enter the U.S. once Title 42 expires. In anticipation of the spike, President Biden ordered new migrant processing facilities to open in Central America in an attempt to stop migrants from even attempting to cross into Mexico. 1,500 troops have been sent to the border to assist border agents with administrative tasks so more agents can be on patrol. Mexico, meanwhile, agreed last week to accept more migrants expelled from the U.S., giving the White House more flexibility to deport after Title 42.
This is challenging. We know that we anticipate more people at the border.
There's not enough resources to deal with this.
On Capitol Hill, the week begins with lawmakers on both sides pondering at least the possibility that the end of Title 42 could result in meaningful immigration reform. The House could vote on a bill this week, which would serve as the starting point for negotiations.
It is true, Title 42 is a moment.
Maybe this is the opportunity.
It's worth noting you don't have to live along the border to feel the impact. States like Arizona and Texas continue to bus migrants to other parts of the country. In Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis' budget includes $12 million to relocate migrants who come to his state. In Denver, city leaders are spending around $800,000 a week on migrant services. And in New York, Mayor Eric Adams projects the city will be caring for 70,000 migrants by next year, costing billions.
This is an ongoing crisis.
Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
Something we'll continue to follow, of course, but focusing back here in the Treasure State, if you've been in or around Great Falls or here in the Gallatin Valley the past few days, you may have heard or seen fighter jets flying around, and they've been doing some training at the Montana Air National Guard Base.
That's right. MTN's Colter Anstad talking with some of the pilots involved to learn about that training.
Don't worry, I did not just get back from flying this Marine F-5, although I wish I had. That would be pretty cool. This F-5 and a few others, along with some F-18s, are in Great Falls as part of a joint training exercise with the Montana Air National Guard. This doesn't happen here all that often, but it is important.
It's important for us to travel in places like this, obviously because we have to exercise our logistical component as well, and we sometimes just go where the weather's nice, right?
The weather certainly was nice as U.S. Marine Corps F-5 jets took off from the Montana Air National Guard Base.
VMFT 401 came to Montana this month really to support Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 112, the Cowboys, as well as kind of interact with one of our transport squadrons that has been working up here as well. Typically, 4th Marine Aircraft Wing, Marine Forces Reserve, will do a detachment several times throughout the year to different locations to exercise the expeditionary warfare capabilities of the Marine Corps as well as Marine Forces Reserve.
Specifically, this training involved air combat maneuvering training.
We'll do this.
Marine Fighter Training Squadron 401 Executive Officer Lieutenant Colonel Michael Webb says the F-5s are used to help train because they're more cost-effective than fleet aircraft.
Our job is really to train fleet aviators in the art of aerial combat and really to provide them realistic threat scenarios or adversary red mission scenarios.
Montana Air National Guard C-130 pilot Captain Michael Reichenbach says the training benefits the Guard as well.
We obviously don't get to fly with fighters very often, and other services even less, so we're all on the same team over there and we need to be on the same page, and when the Marines come up here we can train with them, learn how they operate, and they can learn how we operate.
It's a noisy but cool opportunity.
They're really cool guys. We hang out. We really want to thank the community. Great Falls has been an awesome host for these guys. They feel very welcome, and we appreciate their patience with all the extra jet noise.
Marines say they may come back here next year for some more training. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
Got an escort down Interstate 90 on Friday with 5 of those F-18s flying in, landing out at the Bozeman Yellowstone.
I mean, that's something I can forgive the noise when you see something like that. I mean, that's just something you don't see every day.
I run out of the house like a little kid.
Yeah, get a picture quick.
It's so cool.
Well, you might want to get a picture of the birds. There's plenty of them, and that's kind of the sound of spring. It's something that many people enjoy in Southwest Montana.
Yeah, this week in Fish and Wildlife, we share some tips to make your home more urban wildlife friendly, and you'll never have to buy birdseed to do it.
Hear that? Is there any better reminder that it's spring than that? Let's face it, you're happy it's spring, and so are the wild animals around us.
Some things that people can do to make their home, make their property friendly to wildlife. Birds don't need bird feeders this time of year. They can forage naturally, and taking bird feeders down this time of year also, reduces crowding for birds and reduces spread of disease.
Let's face it, birds have been finding food for a lot longer than you've been putting it out for them. Your biggest chance for helping? Providing space.
One of the things that you can do is plant native shrubs and trees. They provide kind of the best habitat to encourage birds to come to your place. Big trees like these, spruces and firs make great bird habitat, and they also provide cover and food for them as well.
And it's not just about birds. Little furry creatures and potentially big furry creatures and others may like to hang around. Some of them are okay, some not so much.
So, some big things to keep in mind is, one, reduce artificial attractants. So that includes artificially feeding wildlife. Keeping pets from harassing wildlife will help encourage more wildlife to use your place in a healthy way and move naturally.
So in a nutshell, keeping it wild for Montana's wildlife. Sharing our homes this week, Chet Lehman, MTN News.
I love that. Just give them space. Let
That's
them
it.
be
That's
wild.
all they need. They can find their own food. They'll do their thing.
Yeah, they've been doing it for thousands of years.
And they're just fun to listen to.
They are. They are a true testament to spring.
Yep.
Well, focusing now over in the mining city, a picnic was held in Butte Friday evening in honor of a little boy who was a big inspiration to first responders. Butte police, firefighters, and ambulance teams gathered at the pavilion at Stoughton Park to remember Michael Hulk Scow, who died in December after a long battle with cancer at age 7.
Yeah, Scow loved first responders, was made an honorary police officer and a firefighter, all while undergoing treatment for cancer. During Friday's event, people shared hugs, ate hot dogs and hamburgers as they celebrated a short but inspirational life.
Hulk was an inspiration to all first responders, no matter who you were. His smile and his thumbs up. I mean, it is. I'll see it forever.
The event, of course, included a parade of fire trucks, police cars, and ambulances. Not just an inspiration to first responders, inspiration to us all.
To everybody. I mean, his legacy will live on, again, like you said, not only in the mining city, but to everyone.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. All right, 6:42, time for a quick break.